So let's start off with the biggest of the biggest. Alphabet, or Google, is an internet search company which offers online advertising technologies, cloud computing and software. The company has a market cap of $534 billion, a PE of 28.9, and pays no dividends. Apparently, I saw an article 2 days ago that this is one of the cheapest Google has looked since 2014 on a forward PE basis.
Absolutely. So, I mean, when you look at that...
We're obviously reading the same stuff.
I know. So, good research, eh? So, I think when you look at what they've been doing in the latest results that came out, there was sort of a new theme where we've known for them to be sort of very driven by the advertising spending and search functionality and all of that. Obviously YouTube has been a big driver there too, but when you look at what's now been happening, they're bringing out the Pixel phone, and that might actually be a catalyst for them going forward. And you know, if you consider that and the fact that they might actually, they're sort of estimating selling about 3 million of those units in this last quarter, which will bring in about $1.5 billion for them in revenue, which is still small when you look at the 85 sort of billion dollars, which is the total revenue. But that could be a catalyst, and if that drives it, we could see that PE re-rating very nicely.
We obviously read the same article because I think the emphasis was also on just the sort of Android user experience, which Apple has done so well, you know, having the hardware and the software and the integration thereof. Now, you know, you've got that Pixel phone, everything you're using is a Google product, you know, Google Maps, the Google search.
You're so right, yeah. They've just tied everyone sort of into this network where they now have all your information. They sort of make life easy for you. They track what you do. They see what you like. They see what you don't like. And they actually then particularly send you stuff that you might even like more. So, you know, all of that and bringing that into a hardware device is going to be possibly very, very lucrative for them. Just interesting, you know, they've got such a big landscape to grow, and when you look at what Apple sells in terms of units, it's around 2 million units. Where we look at Google, they're sort of estimating 3 million and then another sort of 5. So they're very slow on their expectations, but I think Android users could really like this.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Let's have a look at the graph there. And as we see, it's done fantastically well over the years. I remember for a period though, and people often forget, you can actually see it there, between 2013 and 2015, it was bobbling around the $500 mark. And it hadn't done much. And then all of a sudden there was that big pop, and I think that came out when they brought in Ruth Porat, the new CFO. They restructured to Alphabet, and I guess things became a lot more visible for the investor, a lot more transparent.
Absolutely. I think the sort of the division of the different units made it more clear for people to understand the company, where you've got sort of robotics and self-driving cars and sort of way out ideas now grouped together, and you've got the sort of search functionality and now the hardware grouped together. So those things make it easy for people to understand. And as you can see, I think that's a very long graph, but in the shorter term, for the last year, the company has actually had a lot of volatility, but also moved sideways, and I think that's where the opportunity lies.
I agree. Ironically, and we're talking about social networks here, Google don't necessarily have a social network like we would normally understand one. They've been sort of speculative about buying Twitter and getting involved in the social networks. But having said that, something like YouTube has billions of users, and people comment and subscribe and follow each other on YouTube. So you could, in a sense, call that a video type social network. I think
so. You know, when YouTube initially came about, I was sort of everyone just went on there if they wanted to see something specific. But people have actually started using it. It's become competitive for the TV networks. We know that, and like you say, it's actually become quite interactive. Where before it wasn't really interactive. People
and
now
music videos. I mean, music is huge with
That's
YouTube.
massive. A lot of people actually listen to music off YouTube now, and also people have their own channels and things like that, and you can subscribe to it. So it's become much more interactive. You know, I think that's where many of the other guys now try and capitalize on.
And I have a feeling the environment is very innovative, so we're still going to see a lot more from Google.
Absolutely.
Or Alphabet.
Alphabet.
Hot or not on that one?
Very hot on it.
I agree 100%. I think good buying opportunity at the moment, certainly a good entry point.